Hi there, Dr. Wolfe here. In this tutorial, we're going to demonstrate while loops using the R language in RStudio. So to do a while loop, you just type in the word while. I'll do that right below my comment. And we're going to do it until a condition becomes false. In this case, we're going to say, as long as this is true, we're going to type out a print statement, hello world, and watch what happens. Okay, so here this is known as an endless loop. I'm going to put my cursor on line 2 and we'll click run. In our console, it's never going to stop. Okay, so the while loop is infinite, and we want to be very careful with any programming language to not create an infinite loop. We'll never get out of our code. So we're going to hit stop. Now, you might say, well, how do I get out of a while loop when I have a condition that's evaluating to true? So we could use a variable here as an option that changes based upon a condition that happens inside of our loop. So we could test a variable. Another way we could do it is we could use the break command. So if I type in break here, what that'll do is after this line occurs, my while loop will just end. So we'll see how that works instead of a variable. So I will clear this down here with my broom, click run, and you'll see one instance of hello world, and the loop exits. Okay, so you get the idea. What we can do with a while loop is we can actually use that for presenting a menu to our users and ask them what action they'd like to take and then execute code accordingly. So what we're going to do is we're going to present a menu to our user. Okay, we're going to ask them here essentially what item do they like. So we're going to say some print statements, and essentially we're going to print out ice cream, pizza, burgers, and an option to exit our while loop. So we're going to say A, B, C, or D. And then what we're going to do is we're going to prompt the user for a food item. You saw how we've done user prompts in prior tutorials, so I'll copy paste that in. So this says create a variable called food and assign it to the user input, asking them which food they want. So the idea here is they're going to enter a letter A, B, C, or D from this menu. Okay, now in our last tutorial, we saw how to work with if statements. So what we're going to do here is we're going to evaluate the user's input, this food variable, to see if it's an A, B, C, or D. And we're going to do that with an if block. Okay, and I'm not going to type this in. I'm going to copy paste it in and explain it to you so you'll get an understanding of what's happening. So I'll paste this in. I'm saying test my food variable. If it's in A, print out the message, ice cream melts my heart. If it's a B, my mistake, we're going to make it pizza is yummy. And we're going to put in a C condition as I do not have one here. So we're going to basically add in one more condition, else if food equals C. And what we want to do in that case is print out burgers are great. So now we've added in one additional condition to our if block. And if it's D, here we want to break out of that while loop, which means we're going to exit. Okay, so I'm going to put a comment in there, exit our loop. And then here for this one else condition is invalid entry by the user. What that means is they didn't enter a B, a C, or a D. Okay, so one additional thing I want to do from a formatting perspective, so when this runs through, it won't all run together in this menu, is I'm going to do basically print some blank lines. So if you haven't ever seen that in R, you can do print blank lines as a comment, so you know. If you use this command called cat, and if you use a \n, that's the new line command. So we'll do 2 new lines just to space out so we can watch our test happen down below in the console. And then of course make sure your closing curly brace is here. Very similar to Java programming, curly braces. Want to make sure for every opening one, you have a proper closing one. So we want to make sure that's there. So essentially what we're going to do here is put our line here on row 2. I'll clean up the console so it's nice and clean with the broom. And we're going to click run. And you'll see that it runs through the first while block, presents our menu, and it says, ice cream, pizza, burgers, or exit. Which food do you want? Well, I want ice cream. Okay. And then I click run. And you'll see it printed out, ice cream melts my heart. And now it repeats the menu again. And I'll run through all my test conditions because that's very important to my unit testing as a programmer. I want to go ahead and run every test condition. So I want to run a B. And you see pizza is yummy. I want to run the C. And you see that burgers are great. I want to run a D. And now we see that the menu and the loop exited. Well, we didn't run the last test condition as an invalid character. So let's run this through one more time. And we don't need to repeat all of our tests, but let's start back on line 2. Click run. And which food do I want? I'm going to put in this case, E, and click run. And it says you selected an invalid letter, and it represents the menu as we'd expect it to do. So we'll go and do a D, we'll exit it, and that completes our tutorial of using while loops to create a menu in R. I hope you found this helpful. If you have any questions, please feel free to comment below. I hope you subscribe to future updates on my channel, and thank you.